This is Irontrader, and this is the weekend edition. Well, happy St. Patrick's Day to everyone. My wife is Irish. She's probably doing a jig in the living room as we speak. But for us, we're going to do a variety of stocks here today. Okay, so what we're going to do first of all, we're going to do a couple auto stocks, Tesla and Race, and then we're going to go do a couple of tech stocks, which is NVDA, Amazon, and Meta. And then we're going to do a couple retailers, Walmart and Target, and then we're going to do a Disney here today. Okay, let's light this candle. This video is for information purposes only, not a recommendation to buy, sell any stock, commodity, ETF. Please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching. All right, here we have Tesla. Now, this is one of my favorite trades here, basically both long and short. But you can see here what's happening. It's easier to take a look here on the weekly. Okay, so you put a high in here. See, lower high, lower high, lower high. Never good. See where the 8 SMA here? Down. 21 down, 100 down. Now, what they're doing here, they want to get the market share, so they're cutting their prices. You know, in China, in the US, they're just cutting the prices right on down. And then they're talking about, having all these new models coming out here. But, you also have to look on Elon Musk. I'm a big fan of his, but sometimes he gets way over his skis. I'll give you an example, okay, here. This Cybertruck. That was actually supposed to come out in 2020. Okay, this is 2024, and it's finally coming out now, and it's really at no volume here. So if he's talking about redoing these models here, I mean, are you going to get it in a year, 2 years, 3 years? This is election year, and if something turns here, like in the U.S. here, basically what you can have is you go to the dealer and you're going to have your choice. They're not going to be pushing those EVs here like what they're doing. Another thing is, too, I was just on the Ford lot here the other day. Man, if you want to buy a Lightning truck, they got a dozen of them sitting there. If you want to buy a Mach-E, they got 15 of those sitting right there on the lots. I mean, they got discounts and everything. Everybody's trying to get rid of these electric vehicles here. So just keep that in mind. Now, Tesla's a really good company, don't get me wrong. And he's an innovator, and he's got the charging systems and all this kind of stuff, and I get all that. But, when you start lowering prices here and you don't have the demand like you think you have, and you're waiting for new models to come out here, that takes the stock down lower. Okay, so let's just take a look here what we have on a daily. So on a daily, the same thing, low series of lower highs. Okay, so what we have here is we have this red candle sitting at 160.51. Now, Friday, we had just an inside day. So you had a high of 165.18, a low of 160.76. So you put in a higher low. We have to see exactly, if it's going to hold this. So what you want to do is watch this 160.51. This is going to be very, very critical. Okay, so if that's lost, then we just come right to the left of the chart. What do we see? You look to the top of this candle, looking at 155.25. That's your next level. And then this is going to be the very key level, the bottom of this candle. Okay, this is 152.37. That is critical. Now, I've been pointing out all these levels here when this was way up here, because when you have these series of lower highs, that tells me she's going lower. That's not what you want. You want to go lower left, upper right. You don't want to go here, upper left, and down here, lower right. That's not what you want at all in a chart. Okay, so watch this key level here, 155.25, and then this level here going to be very critical. That's 152.37. Now, again, if that's lost, we follow the candles down. You have 150.04, okay, very, very key level. And then we can look to the top of this candle. You got 136.68. You have 134.27. And then we have 125.95, 124.31. And then we can come down here. You have 118.80. We have 108.24. And this is the big retest here, this 101.81. Now, this sell-off right here was when he was selling shares to go and buy this Twitter. Now, Twitter is not paid for, so eventually he's going to need more money here for this here, unless he can come up with some other investment or some kind of an idea here. So, selling shares here is going to be a common thing here. But for me, I just don't really crazy about this stock. I just don't see where this is going to get some big kind of a rally up here unless you can have some kind of a turnaround here. But even when their earnings are coming up, they're missing the numbers and it's just not looking good. But for me as a trader, it's good because what you can do is you can do a lot of good trading with this. Now, when you look at here, like Friday, you had a low of 160.76 and a high of 165.18. So you had a good little bit over 4-point swing that you can do. Okay, so now let's just take a look here on the upside. Well, you want to obviously look at Friday's high, 165.18, and then we can come here to the bottom of this candle. You're looking at 169.15, and then we have this 172.67. Again, when that market opens up here, this 8-day is going to be lower. Okay, so you always say, I never like anything when that price is below that 8-day, because look what happens. When it goes above the 8-day, see, it rises on up. But right here, you're going to be fighting that 8-day all the way on up here. Okay, so you really have to get back above these price channel levels here, 173.70, and then we have your 8 SMA here on your weekly at 187, and then you can follow your 21-day. But next week here, these are just going to keep on falling unless you can have some kind of a turnaround here. Now, there is a divergence, positive divergence here on your daily chart. Okay, so right here you have a low. Okay, you have a really low. Here, you have an even lower low, but we have a higher low. So you have a positive divergence, but it's not showing anything on the MACD. The green is below the red. It just looks like it wants to go lower. Same way on your weekly chart here. So realistically, next week, what you want to watch on the downside is that 160.51. If that is lost, just look to the top of this candle at 155.25, and then this is going to be the critical level right here, that 152.37. Now, again, if you can hold this level coming right across here, that would be very, very bullish here, where you could take a trade going on up. But again, if it is lost, then we just follow the candles down, and this is your big retest here at 101.81. Now, for me, I'd like to see it all the way down here, because then I think that'd be just an awesome buying opportunity here to go long, because Tesla is not going to be down, for a long time. It's just that everything that they have going on right now here with the new models coming, yeah, but when, okay, you're taking your prices down, that's never good. Market share, they got the biggest market share, but who are you competing against here? Ford has nothing, GM has nothing. You know what I'm saying? You got like, what, 5-6%, 2% of nothing. Okay, so it really doesn't really matter. But they need some new models here. I mean, look at these Tesla cars. I see them drive around. It's basically an old man 4-door sedan with no grill. You got to have a little style in this here. That's what people want, is the style. So realistically, what it has to do here, if you look on this daily, you need to get back above this key 8 SMA, that 172.67. It will be lower Monday, but we have to get right back above it here to go higher. Now, let's just take a look at the inverse of the Tesla. Okay, now here's something I've been trading here myself, is the short, TSLS. Okay, so as Tesla here is coming down, okay, she's going down. Look at this, all the way down. But look what's happening to the short. Okay, she's going right up nice here. Okay, so if you want to play both directions like what I do, some people don't like that. They just like either I'm going to go long or I'm going to go short. But look at look at here now. Long until you can get above that key 8 SMA at 172.67, you're going to go right down to that 152 level, very easy. And then what is this going to go at? Okay, so this could go up into the 30 range very, very easily. But see, this is a good way to trade it. This is how I do it, is Tesla here on the long side, if you can get back above. And if it doesn't work, we have Tesla TSLS here on the old short side. See how that works? I think very, very, very nicely. So if you want to take a look at this, just punch up old TSLS, and that is the shorty, okay, for the Tesla. Okay, next one we're going to look at here is going to be race. Okay, here we have race. This is basically Ferrari. Okay, so this has been a really, really good stock. Now, it doesn't do a whole lot of volume here, but a lot of people bought this way down low, okay, like I did. And, and you're just running it up. Now, they don't do that many cars, but they do profitability per car is just off the chain, okay? So they do very, very good. So on the downside here, let's take a look at that first. You want to hold this 8 SMA here. You're looking at 420.44. That's going to be very, very key. If that is lost, we have this 21 SMA sitting at 414.61 right below it. Okay, then we can do is follow the candles all the way down. You have 414 here. You have basically 412, and then we have 408.79. Then we have this gap. Okay, this gap is 407.66. And then you have the fill sitting at 402.68. So gap and fill, basically that's what it is your support levels. Okay, so if it goes down to the gap, okay, and that might, if it holds, if it doesn't, then we check the fill. Now the one you always want to watch though is the top of this candle, which is 393.59, and then the top of this candle 391.42, because this here, when it rallied up, it broke up, and then it broke right through. So these are going to become really nice resistant levels, and they're support levels, I should say. And then you have that 50-day right underneath it at 380.98. Okay, again, that's if you lose the 8-day and you lose the 21-day SMA here. But right now, the chart is looking very, very bullish. You just have some nice sideways action going here. Now, on the upside, what we want to watch is you want to watch this level here. Okay, so basically that 425 level. And if it gets above, you got 426.46. You got 426.58, and there's your big retest there at 430.08. Now, if you break above this and close above, the key is close above that 430.08. Well, then you got blue skies. Okay, so then we have to do a little bit of Fibonacci there on it, but realistically, the next target you're probably looking is going to be a 450 level is what's going to go, and then you're eventually going to try to rally all the way up to the $500 mark. Okay, so I'm usually looking at the round numbers here once something like that breaks through. So just watch this key 430.08. If you're trading it here, if it closes above, then you can just go long and just stay long until you get to the 450 area. Very, very easy. On the downside, just watch this key 8 SMA here. Very, very key. And then we have your 21 SMA right below that. If that's lost, we just follow these gaps down, and then always watch the top of these candles here on the left-hand side, because these were your breakout candles. Okay, the next one we're going to look at here is going to be a little tech trade, going to be NVDA. Okay, here we have NVIDIA. Now, everybody is getting the old FOMO action here, and they just ran this all the way on up. But again, see this 8 SMA? See, you could just keep holding it here all the way through. Now, we had a little pullback, but you notice that it held that 21 SMA. Then right back in the game and up there to the 8 SMA. Now, you're below this 8 SMA again here. Now, on this chart, there's a lot of gaps, and there's a lot of fills here. So you have to always watch that if it starts to sell off, kind of a situation here, okay? So let's just take a look at the upside first. So you want to watch that 491.57. That's going to be very, very crucial. That's that 8 SMA here. Now you can see where you're going all the way on down. If you can get above, then the next level is going to be that 906.46, and then you have 915.04, and then we'll have the top of this candle 919.60, and then you'll have 927.67, and then you can rally all the way up here to that 974. Now, again, you break that above, then you're going to go to $1,000. Now, they have a $1,200 price tag on this stock here, but, you know, again, maybe the AI is just getting a little bit over its skis here on some of these stocks here, but this is all basically FOMO going right on up here, okay? So if this company makes any mistakes at all, this thing will drop this like a rock here, okay? So let's look at the downside. So you want to look at Friday's low. Okay, so that was 862.57. Now look how fast that can come off here. Now look what it did here. This was like 100 points that it dropped, okay? So always remember that when these stocks run up, if they fall off, they can drop really quick. So watch the low on this. This is 862.57. Now, again, if that is lost here, then what you want to do is come over to the bottom of this candle, looking at 841.66, and then we'll come to the bottom of this candle here, which is basically 834.17. Now that's your gap, and then you want to look to the top of this candle, 823. Okay, so your gap is 834.17, and then we want to go 823 flat. So there's your gap and your fill, and then we come right over here, that 823.94. Okay, so and that lines up very, very nicely here with your 819.45. That's your 21-day. Now, you notice that when it came off, it held that 21-day. So if this comes down and holds that 21-day, that'd be a good opportunity here to take this back up again. Now, again, if that 21-day is lost, there's a couple of things that you really need to watch. Number one is going to be this 769. Very, very crucial. Ahead of that here, we have this 8 SMA at 76.50. But you want to watch this gap, okay? So the low of this is 742.20. There's your gap. and then watch the top of that candle, 688.88. There's your fill. So your gap and your fill, okay, and then we'll come over here on this candle here. So there's a lot of support here level. So realistically, watch this bottom, that 862.57. Watch the bottom of that candle, okay, that 841.66. And then we want to come here to this candle, that 834.17, and then your fill at 823, okay? And then again, if that's lost here, watch the bottom of that candle, 742.20, and then the top of that 688.88. That's a gap in that fill. You got a couple of them here, and those usually are like magnet to a fridge. They will get filled eventually. Now, on this here, though, you can see when it held the 21-day, that's always a very, very good sign. So if it comes down, holds that 21-day, that might be a good scalping opportunity to take it back up, at least back into that 8 SMA here again, if not higher, okay? And then right below here, if that's all lost, you have that 50-day, and we have this price channel sitting at 662.48 here. But, you know, this is a very, very strong stock here, but you can't give up on it. But it's just priced for absolute just perfection. Okay, let's take a look here at Amazon. Okay, here we have Amazon. Now, Amazon is one of my favorite trades. I like the company. I love you can just, you just click on the order, you wait for your doorbell to ring, and boom, 1, 2, 3, everything is there, and you can get good prices, I'm saying very, very easily. So you can see where a lot of these brick and mortar stores are going out of business. They're just not going to be able to handle it. You got a little different world going on here today. Now they're getting into with the pharmacy, I'm saying they have the AI. This is a really good company here. So if you own it, stick with it. I own it, obviously, and then I also trade it. Okay, so this is also one of my favorite trades here because you always have that juice, that Bezos has. Okay, so let's take a look here what we got. Now, Friday, we had a red candle, okay? And we went below this key 8 SMA at 175.34, but you held the 21-day. Now, let's take a look at the downside first. If you lose that 21-day, sitting there at 174.07, well, then we're going to come to the bottom of this candle here. You're looking at 171.98, and then we have the bottom of this candle at 171.47 right here, okay? What we have here, okay, this candle here is 147.80. This is 147.47. So this is your gap. And then we look to the top of this candle at 170.23. There's your fill. So look to the gap and then look to the fill. That's going to provide support levels. And that, we can come all the way down to this price channel, which is basically this candle right here. Okay, so you're looking at 165.74. Very, very nice. Now, there is another gap here on this that I want to show you. But first of all, we have that 50 SMA, which is very lined up very nicely with the price channel at 165.61. So if this comes down, it holds this level, that'd be a great buying opportunity here to take it right back on up again here. So what you want to watch here, you look here, you look at 165.74, and we look at this candle, 165.75. Okay, so you take the 165.74, that's your gap, and then we come to the top of this candle at 159.76. So your gap and your fill. So if this 50-day, that price channel is lost, then right here is going to be your next level. And then what we do is we follow to the bottom of this candle, which is 155.62, which lines up very, very nice here with the 154.77 here. So you have some really nice support levels here on the downside. Now, this is going sideways here. Very, very nice, very, very tradable stock. So what you really need to do is it has to lose that 21-day. If it does, then we just follow the bottom of these candles and then follow this gap. And then what we want to do is watch this key 50-day, very, very key. Just because we have a gap down here, that doesn't mean it's going to fill it right now. It could just come right down here, and then if it holds this area, that'd be a great buying opportunity to take it higher. Now, on the upside, you want to watch this 8 SMA. That's 175.34. Very, very key level. If it goes, if you can get above that, then we'll take here 176.76. You have 177.62. You have 179.53, and then your big retest is 180.14. Now, if you break above 180.14, this is going to 200. Just like when I showed you the gold yesterday, it was at 21.52. I said it's going to 2,000, and it went up to 2,003. Okay, so I was off by $3. But this here, usually when you'll hit a round number, when you break that 180.14, you're going to go up to the 200-day. Now, a lot of times they'll go up to 199.90 or 199.80 or something like that. But you'll be going towards that 200. So if you can close above that 180.14, don't be afraid to get long and just ride it right to that $200 level here. Okay, your RSI here, well, you looks like it doesn't, it's not that bad here. You just have some sideways action. Your green is below your red here. It's showing that that's momentum is more to the downside, but we got to see how that shakes out. Now, here on your weekly chart here, you definitely want to watch this 8 SMA. That's sitting at 172.23. That is going to be just below your 21 SMA here, but you're going to run right into the support levels right here. So that's basically what is your 8 SMA is doing here, okay? So your RSI is showing really good relative strength. Your green is above your red here on your MACD on the weekly, showing very, very good. Now, this was actually a really good trade here because as it sold down, out here, once it broke above that 8-day and it came down, you never want to buy it right there because you just never know. But it had a nice retest with a higher low. Then that gave you a nice good round right on up here. But as it, your stock isn't going to go right straight up, nor do you want it to go, because if it goes right up, you're going to get a correction. Okay, that's just as simple as that. You just ride it out, get as much as you can. If it pulls back, that's always another buying opportunity. Okay. All right, let's take a look here next at Meta, META. Now, Meta has had a phenomenal run, okay? It got all the way down to this 88.09. But what they did is they just started to, really clean up all their books, okay? So they laid off a pile of people. They got all their costs down, okay? And now they're really strong in this AI, okay? So this is really, stock is really working. So any kind of a pullback, I think Meta is definitely is a buying opportunity, no question. So when you look here on the weekly chart, look at that 8 SMA. Look how nice it held it all the way up. And even when you lost the 8 SMA, you held that 21 day. Okay, yeah, it came down, but it didn't close down. Okay, it just running right on up here. Now it just looks like you put a little toppy in there. Okay, see right there, and now she's just coming down a little bit here. But this would be a nice stock to buy on any kind of a pullback. Now you do have had a lot of sideways action going on here, and you had like a negative divergence here, which is really the first tell when you see this high. Okay, you have a high, then we have a higher high and a lower high in the RSI. That's a first little tell that eventually this is going to come off, and then that will be, doesn't mean that the stock is done. It means that's what you're looking for if you want to buy the stock. You never want to buy it at these nosebleed areas, because when that falls, well, if you bought it at 523, you're sitting at 484, now you're not a happy camper, okay? So let's look at the downside first. So you want to look at Friday's low, 481.30. And then we come over here to the bottom of this candle. You're looking at 476 flat, okay? So what we have next is that's your gap, and then we want to look to the top of this candle, okay, 469. That's your fill. So you have, okay, 476, 469. So your gap and your fill, that is your next support levels right here. If it loses that gap, then she's going to come right down to that fill, okay? So, but then what we also have here is you have even a bigger gap, okay? So we want to watch the price channel, and then we want to watch this key 50-day at 440.51. But you also want to watch this candle right here, okay? This is 453. Now, you made a little bit lower than that candle there. That's 453.01. This is 453. So you take the 453, there's your gap, and then we look to the top of this candle right here at 400. There's your fill. So you have a big gap and a big fill if the stock does get hammered, and then below it you have your 100 SMA here. Okay, so always keep that in mind. But the first support level here you're looking for is the bottom of this candle, that 476, and then the top of this candle here at that 469. So your gap, your fill, and then we can follow the candles down, 461.79, that 455.09, and then that 453 flat. Okay, and then we come over here, your 50 SMA at 440.51, and then you have that fill at 450 cents. Okay, so always keep this in mind on your back burner. Not saying it's going to get there today, this week, maybe not even this year, but always watch these gaps on these charts, because eventually they do get filled if the market gets hammered down. Okay, but you have a lot of good support. Now on the upside, you want to watch here. It says 21-day, 49.05, very, very nice. And then we have your 8-day right above it, 496.13. Okay, so you have a lot of good resistance going here also. So again, if you get above, then we look here, that's 501 35, and then we'll come over here to the top of that candle, 504.42. Then we'll look here. You have 519.85, and then your big retest at 523.57. Now a close of 523.57. Again, you're going to go and that's the time that you want to buy it. You buy on strength and you take it right to the 550 level. Okay, that's what you want to do. So there's a lot of good options here. For me, I'm a long-termer on this, but I also wait and trade this, and I want to make sure this could come down here to this area here, or even to that 50-day. That'd be a good buying opportunity here to take light. It doesn't always have to get right down to this gap here, for a buying opportunity. But if you can hold even like this level or the next level or here, then that might be a nice buying opportunity here to take it higher. Now, you always want to watch an 8-day here on your weekly chart. That's at 473.37. That's very, very nice. And you can come all the way down here to this 390, but that 390 is pretty low. You'd have to even fill that gap in before you'd even hit that 21-day. Okay, so this is a very, very strong looking stock. So right now it's holding that 8 SMA. So we got to see how it's all going to shake out. Okay, next we're going to look at a couple retail trades. First is going to be Walmart. Okay, now Walmart's had a pretty good run here. Okay, now their stock split here, so this is a very, very good run. Okay, so when you look at this 8 SMA here, you can see where you're holding all around. Even if it's lost, where you got to rate it, it's holding the 21-day. Okay, very, very nice. Now Walmart here, a lot of people are shopping at Walmart here because no matter what they try to tell you, inflation right now is high. Okay, they measure inflation ex food, energy, and autos. I really don't know what they're really measuring, but when you add in food and you add in energy costs, look as gasoline is doing right now, and then you add autos into this. Go to a market, go to a lot. That Lightning, the cheapest one I found was $75,000. Okay, so when you add that back in, your inflation is nowhere near 2% or 3% or 4% like they're trying to make you believe. You're looking at good 8 to 12% in that area. That's what inflation is going right on now, okay? Gas prices here has risen about 75 cents here in the last 3 weeks here. So don't let these people fool you. Do your own homework, you know what I'm saying? Everybody there has an agenda, so don't you listen to that nonsense. But anyway, people are shopping at Walmart. They think they're going to get a deal, same way they're shopping at Sam's. Now, I shop Walmart, I shop Sam's, Costco, the whole 9 yards. My favorite is Aldi's. Aldi's always has really good stuff at a hell of a lot better price than Walmart does. I don't get it, but every time you go to Walmart, it's packed. Okay. Now people will shop to our next one we're going to look at is Target because they feel that if they're at Target, they're up a notch from Walmart because Walmart, when you go into a Walmart, it still reminds me of Kmart is what it reminds me of. But if you can get a good deal, then I'm in. If you can't, I just move on. Okay, here we have the daily chart. So we want to look here. Now, this has had a really, really good run. So let's take a look at the upside first. Well, what we want to watch is this 60.76. That's your 8 SMA. Then we can look to Friday's high. You're looking at 61.15. We're going to look at 61.44. You have 61.46, and then 61.57 is your breakout, okay, on the level. Now, if you can break that up there, well, the next level you're going to do is going to be the round number. You're going to work yourself to 75 and then work yourself to 100. Okay, that's just how stuff trades. But we got to see how that's all going to shake out. Now, what we want to watch here. Now, you lost this level here, okay, and this is what you really need to get back above that 60.45. Okay, so far you're at 60.46. 60.45. Okay, see, so right there you're holding support. That's why you always look to the left of the chart because where it's been is usually where it's going to go. Okay, so you want to look to the left of the chart so you're holding that. Then if that is lost here, we can just follow these candles down. Okay, you got 60.62 here. We have 59.87. You got 59.73, and then we'll come down here to 59.58. There's your gap. And then look right to the top of this candle, 59.39. So gap and fill, and then it lines up pretty nice here with your 59.45, your 21 SMA. Now, again, we have another gap and fill right here, okay? So if it sells down, 57.60 is your gap, and then we have 57.31 is your fill. So you have a gap in the fill. We have the support levels, and then you could come all the way to this 50 SMA at 56.74, and maybe even to the price channel at 55.99. Okay, so this isn't, this is still very, very strong. But when you look at the chart, you held the 21, all the way and up. So if it does come down to that 21 day, that would probably be a good buying opportunity here to take it on higher. Okay, so just got to watch these key candles. That's going to be very, very key. So you got the 58 level here. It lines up pretty nice here with the 57.82 level here. And then if it comes down, look to the left of the chart here. Yeah, at 56.65. That's going to be nice, good support before it comes down even to the 21 day here or your 50 day. So, but this had a really good run up. They were just pushing this all the way and up here. But right now, it just looks like it just looks a little tired. Looks like it needs a correction. Again, if it comes down, holds that gap in that fill, and this 21 day might be a good buying opportunity here to go up. If not, watch this gap right here. Okay, that's at 57.60, and watch that fill, that 57.31. So that might be the next support before you hit the old 50 day. Okay, let's take a look here at Target. Okay, here we have Target. Now, a lot of people shop at Target. I go to Target. They have it right there in the mall, and it's always busy. I mean, you can go there in the morning, go there at night. It is always busy. Ever since they put that grocery in there, that is really helping out Target big time. Plus, I like the way they did is they were losing money there in Canada. And they said, boom, we're just going to shut that area right down here. You know what I mean? You just take the loss and move on. That's really what you want to do here. But they had really good numbers here. And if you look, this actually was a very good buying opportunity. I did a little scalp ski myself here on this buying opportunity right here. See where we came down and you made this looks like it was an old disaster. This is come right off. Target doesn't know nothing. Well, 102.93, and then we made a low right here. Okay, so you made a low at 105.23. So basically what this is a double bottom. And then when she gapped and she just took right on off here. Okay, so I got a lot of points because I rode this all the way on out here because I was thinking as long as it holds that 8 day, the 21 day, and then what's next is this 50 day, they're all running up here equally. You know what I'm saying? All the way on up here. So as long as it held this and then come down to that 200 day, this was going to go higher here. Okay, so I ran it from a lot. I don't know, not all of this, but I waited to that gap up here, and this is a lot of section here that I got here, some really good juice on. Okay, so this is a really good stock here. So anything like on a pullback, this is a good area. Now, when you look at this, say 175.53, well, why did it stop there? Well, I'll tell you why it stopped there. Because you got the 200 SMA sitting right there. Okay, see, this is why you want to trade the charts, because you know where it's going to go. You're not going to blast through that 200 day anytime soon. Okay, that's just how it goes. Okay, so when you look at charts, every hedge fund, any trader out there has a chartist on their payroll. Okay, and there's a reason for that. These machines are doing the same thing. Okay, I use the 8 day. Sometimes I use a 9 day. I use a 21 day. Sometimes I use a 21 day. Now I use simple moving averages. Sometimes I just use moving averages. But the charts are the same. Okay, it's very easy. Just keep your trading simple. That's how you make money. 8, 21, 50 day, 100 day, 200 day. Simple moving averages. The blue lines here, these are price channels. Okay, it gives you a good look exactly where all the tops and where all the bottoms are. Very, very easy. Now, let's take a look here on the daily. Well, you have a sell-off going on here, okay? So we have to look to Friday's low, okay? That's 162.71. There's your gap, and then we have a fill here at 154.77. So just look up here when I post them numbers, look at the numbers. See, you look at the bottom of that candle, 162.71, and then look to the top of that, 154.77. There's your gap. There's your fill. But this 21 day here is looking very, very good here for a target at 158.24. Okay, so if it comes down, we hold that 21 day, that just might be, a good another buying opportunity. It doesn't have to come to the gap. If it did, that would be great and get that gap over with. It'd be even better if it came down to this 50 SMA here. Then I'd pull another scalp ski on this thing to go up higher. Okay, but on the upside, you have that 150 to 75.53, but just watch this 200 day. Okay, watch that 200-day. Very, very critical because even when you look above here, how many times did it hit this on a weekly basis and it just can't get through? This is one tough SOB right here, this 200-day. Look where she went. Boom, right in it, could not, and then you're pulling right back. Okay, when you look at this chart here, you can look at this as a left shoulder, a head, and a right shoulder. So this can come all the way down here and still be a buying opportunity right down to this neckline area and still be a good buying opportunity to go higher. But you got to blast above that 200-day, that 174.64. Otherwise, she's not going higher. Okay, just simple as that. But if you can, then you can just follow the candles. What do we have here? Okay, you got 177.29. What do we have here? Okay, you got 181.70. And then we can just go right to the tops here. You got 183.89. And then we can look to the bottom of this candle here. You got 206.19. And then we can just follow the candles up here. 212.38 all the way till you get back to your 254.87. But you got to get above that 200-day. That is going to be the key on a closing basis for the week. Okay, that's what you need to do. Now, here, short term, you want to look at Friday's high, 165.25. We want to look at 167.17. And then this 8 SMA is going to be crucial. That's 168.21. But now you can see how it's rolling over. If that 8-day rolls over, then she's going to probably come and retest that 21-day for sure. Then just follow the candles up, 170.58. You got 172.29 here. You got that 175.27 and 175.53. That is going to be your big retest, but you have to close above that 200-day for this to go higher. Okay, so always watch these levels on the downside, that 21-day. Watch this gap fill, watch that 50-day, and then we have your nice price channel at 145.13 coming right below. Now, always watch this. Now, this ain't going to happen today, but if something happens and say, you get a big sell-off going here, we have this gap right here, which I never like. Okay, now low on that is 124.88. There's your gap. And then look to the top of this candle here. You're looking at 112.31. So you have a gap and a fill. That's never good on the chart. Now, I'm not saying that's going to be filled today, tomorrow, this year. But again, always keep that on your back burner. When you look at these charts, look at the overall chart, not just one little section. Okay, let's take a look here at Disney. Okay, Disney stock finally getting their act together here. Okay, we are just was going down, down, down here, but you look at here. You was making a really nice bottom here. Put in the low of 78.73, but then when it came down here again, we put in a higher low. Okay, at 79.23. Okay, so that there was the buying opportunity. Then once you broke out of this level here, then she was going to go rally right on up here. Very, very strong. Okay, so right now it had some good numbers here, and they're coming out here with this. I don't know how that app is going to sell. It's going to be like a sports app, but I don't know if anybody's going to be paying $45 or $50 for an app, per month. I don't see how that's going to really work because realistically, if you just search the internet, you can watch anything you want for free. Even these games they say it's only on Peacock or it's only on Amazon. I can tell you right now, I can find it for free all the time, no matter what. You just got to do a little work. If you do a little work, there's sites out there that give you the whole game and everything. Highlights the whole 9 yards, no charge. So I don't know about $45. But anyway, they got their act together. They just raised their prices on the parks now. I don't know. It's like, $1,000 a ticket there now for a half hour or some nonsense. I have no idea, but people seem to want to be paying it, So anyway, here's what we have. Now, one thing I do want to point out to you is where you had a high here, a higher high, but we had a high here and a lower high. So we got a negative divergence going here in the same way is on your MACD here. So you got to be a little bit careful. So let's just look at the downside first. So you want to look here at this 8 SMA, 111.48, and then right below it is we have that 110.78. So that's going to be your crucial support. And then we can come to the bottom of this candle. You got 109.51 here, and then we have 109.20. And then we can just follow these candles all the way down here. But this is the candle that you want to watch right here. Okay, so this is that 105.83. See where your price channel comes right across? That is your gap. And then we have that fill all the way down here at 99.28. So watch that 105.83 if it gets hammered, and then watch this fill. Very, very crucial. Now, again, you had the 50-day right in between that level here. So it might not get down there, but I'm just like to point it out to you just in case. That's just like right here. If you look to the bottom of this candle here, you got 86.94. And then we'll look to the top of that candle right there. You have 84.92. So there is a gap in the fill all the way down here too. Again, not saying it's going to get there this year, next year, whatever, but eventually just keep that always in mind. So really today, what you want to watch is that 8-day, that 21 SMA. Watch the bottom of these candlesticks. If that's lost, your target is going to be this 105.83, which is that candle. Then you have your 50-day, and then we have your fill right there at 99.28. Now, to the upside, you want to watch Friday's high. That is sitting at 112.96. And then we can come up here. You got 114.13. And then you can work your way right on up here, what you have 114.13 and then 115.19, your basically your recent high. Now, again, if you can break above that, you have just a real nice target. You can look to the left of the chart here, okay? First of all, you want to look at that 118.18, okay? That's going to be your first target here. And then we can come over here to the top of this candle. You're looking at 126.48. And then we have right here, this is your big target, 126.67. So we have intermediate targets going on up here. But realistically, if you break through that 115.19 right there, that's your target right there, 126.67. That's where she's going, okay? So downside, watch that 8, that 21-day. Watch this key price channel coming across. If that's lost, 50-day, and then your gap fill. Upside, you close above that 115.19 right here. This is your big target. That's where it's going, 126.67, okay? So that's what I got for you today. We have the Tesla, the Race, the NVDA, the Amazon, the Meta, the Walmart, the Target, and the Disney. Okay, that's what I got for you right now. Now, again, tonight, probably right around 7 o'clock, we always review crude oil here and natural gas to get you all set up for Monday. Okay, thanks for watching.